welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Cassie, also known as KnittaCass, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about all the things that I'm making, mostly knitting. I do have some crochet today, books that I'm reading, patterns that I'm drooling over, sometimes about the life on a small farm in Vermont, which is not got a lot happening right now, and a spice of mental health. So grab your favorite beverage and a project to work on. I have my Pepsi, of course. That is my life source. And I have a lot of projects to show you. Before we get started, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. Your love and support really means a lot to me. And if you are a new viewer and you just joined, thank you so much. If you're just checking me out, I hope you enjoy. And if you don't mind, like, share, and subscribe, that would be great. Comments also help. I really enjoy interacting with my viewers. So let's get started. I do have one finished object. These are a pair of vanilla socks. And this is made out of scraps from last year's The Cozy Knitter 24 Advent Stripe set. So I was able to get all 24 stripes in here. And then I used a mini from Trilogy Yarns, and I thought it kind of went with that. And then I used a mini here from Mystery. I have no idea, but it's a nice blue. I thought the colors went pretty well. So I do have a couple markers in here. This first marker, this cake marker from Sucra Miniatures. It's a nice birthday cake. I put that here when I went and visited my family in Pennsylvania, and I knit until... That's not true. That might actually be true. I knit until this progress keeper on this sock. So I did quite a bit of knitting. And then I came home and finished the stripe and did the toe. Yeah, that's right. And then on this sock, this progress keeper, which is this teeny tiny turtle, and it has a crab, a seashell, and it looks kind of like a beach. This is from Littlest Charm Co. And so I put that here when I went to my sister's house. Well, I went to my sister and my parents' house. So I put that there when I went on our trip to Pennsylvania, and I knit until here with this butterfly progress keeper that I got from my sister Katrina. And then I finished the rest when I got home. So this is scraps from the Cozy Knitter 24 Advent Stripe Advent for last year. I had already knit a pair of socks like these. And the cool thing about the Cozy Knitter Advent Stripe is that it comes in two skeins or two hanks. And I have been sharing it with a friend. So I sent one to her and I keep one. And I knit two pairs of socks out of the one hank that I kept. So if you buy the Cozy Knitter Advent Stripe Advent, you can get 4 socks out of it, and I still have all the stripes. Now, mind you, if I had done the cuff in a coordinating color, I may not, for my shoe size, have gotten the full 24 stripes. So if you have a larger shoe size, that might not be accurate, but I was pretty lucky to get 2 pairs of socks out of that. That is my only finished object, but I went on vacation, which I'll talk about a little bit more, to visit family, and got a lot of knitting done there. And then I came home, and the week that I was home, I was on vacation from school. And so I got a lot of knitting then too. So we will start with this. I think is this one's my longest whip. Okay, so we'll start with my longest whip. So my longest whip is in this tote, and it is, oh, I have a sock knitting needle in here. This is the Cozy Memories blanket. So I'm showing you the back side. That's not nice. So I've just been making this mostly out of scraps, but I did put some minis in here from the Harry Potter Advent that was from Yarn Cafe Creations and Dragon Horde Yarn, but I also put some minis in from not last year's, but the year before. I did a Disney Princess Advent from Yarn Cafe Creations, which was super fun. So the glittery ones are from that. And it's getting pretty big. It's not where I'd like it to be yet, but I did a couple squares. So I did this square here, which is a nice black square. It doesn't look like a square because it's kind of scrunched up. This is a dinosaur progress keeper from Yarnable, which is a subscription box from Hypnotic Yarn. And then let's see where the other one is. Oh, right here. And then I did this yarn, and this is, oh goodness. This is yarn from, oh, Cassie, what's her name? She's my favorite yarn dyer in Vermont. She's local. She's actually like 45 minutes to an hour away from me, which is pretty cool. Oh man, this is terrible promotion for her. Nothing is coming to mind. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to put it down below. So this is a clue to myself that I need to order more yarn from her, because this is terrible and I should be able to remember her because I love her yarn. So anyways, this is a colorway from her. I don't remember the colorway, but I do remember that I bought it on World Knit in Public Day a couple years ago when I went with my sister. And it has this nice Harry Potter charm, which is from Simply Serving. And I just found out she has like the cutest stitch markers from a variety of topics. And I just found out that she is no longer making stitch markers, and I believe she's pursuing like a tattoo pathway. She's pretty artistic, so that would make sense, but kind of sad for us. So this is the Cozy Memories blanket. I only knit 2 squares, and I am on the start of a 3rd square. And this is a mini. An unlabeled mini. This is an unlabeled mini, and it looks kind of white on camera, but it's more of like a really, really pale pink. So I spent a little bit of time doing that because I felt like it needed some love. And then I'm taking the yarn that's super, super tiny and putting it in this bag, and then I'm going to put it in this basket here. Okay. And then this is my next longest whip. This is actually crochet. It is in a Rhinebeck bag that I got from 2023. Actually, this says 2022. Oh, I didn't realize I had been there in 2022. That must have been the first year I went. Oh yeah, it was 2022. I remember now. Okay, this is a crochet blanket, and it is called Cozy Stripe Blanket, or Cozy Stripey Blanket, and it's by Attic 24. This is how long it is, so it's getting pretty long. I do have to work on my edges. I am pretty new to crochet, so this is my edges towards the beginning, but it's getting a little bit better. It will have a border at the end, so that will help tremendously. I'm just absolutely loving it, and let's see if I can find our progress keeper right here. So this is our progress keeper from the last time that I showed it, which was a little while ago, and this is how much progress I've made. I am knitting it out of, or crocheting it. I am crocheting it out of these mandala cakes. So they're already striping by themselves, and the colorway is Groot. These, I have like several of these, and they were gifted to me by my sister Katrina. I think I only have one more left because you use a lot of yarn in crochet. But I do have some in my Amazon cart. I don't know if you guys do this, but I go and look for things that I want, and if I think I'm going to buy them soon, I put them in my cart, and then I click save for later. I have so many things there, like things I have forgotten. And the reason I do it that way is because in the past I have added things to my cart that I wanted and then like didn't justify buying them yet. And then I went to buy something I absolutely needed right away. I put that item in my cart, and then I clicked checkout, and I bought things that I didn't need. And it was not fitting in my budget. So I've learned the hard way not to do that. Okay, so those are my 2 oldest WIPs. This crochet blanket's been with me for years. The Cozy Memories square blanket's been with me for years. I mean, at some point they'll get done, but I'm not in a rush. And I have to focus on the crochet blanket because crochet is not second nature to me, and I sometimes can read my stitches, but not very well. And I have to do it when I am like looking at something, like watching or listening to something that I don't have to pay a lot of attention to. My next WIP is in this watermelon tote bag. This is, oops. This is the Starflake shawl. This is a shawl you've seen a lot. This is by Stephen West. It's got this nice star shape here, some striping, and I am on the brioche segments. And I haven't gotten a lot done. I've knit on it a lot, but it doesn't look like I've made much progress. And the rows, because it's brioche and it's knit flat, when you're on the right side, you do 2 rows on the right side. And then when you're on the wrong side, you do 2 rows on the wrong side. So 1 row actually takes a really long time. So this is my progress keeper. I didn't move any progress keepers. I'm gonna have to, after I hit stop record, I'm gonna have to move all my progress keepers so I can show you guys. So this is a tiny little Rhinebeck exclusive from Wee Ones. It's a little cat, and it's got a sweater that's not quite finished with a skein of yarn. And so I have knit from here to here, and that's a couple hours of knitting. So that's kind of discouraging sometimes. It is knit out of Knit Pick Sport Weight. This is the colorway Sky, and this is the colorway Celestial. This one is perhaps the most exciting WIP. This is in a bag by Sew Melissa Crafts. And this is my Twisted T-shorts by Little Wolf Knits. So, I don't remember the last time you saw this. Perhaps where this little egg marker is. So here's the waistband. And then I finished 1 whole leg right here. And I have just started the ribbing on this leg. I have to pay a little more attention to the ribbing because on one side you're doing purl through the back loop, which is not something I think I've ever done. So it takes me a little while to do it. So it'll take a little while to do it. I'll have to put on like a movie that I don't have to pay attention to, or put on The Big Bang Theory because I know almost every episode of that. And then these will be finished. They're not blocked yet, but I did try them on and they fit really well. I'm a little concerned that they might block a little more than I wanted to, even though I gauge swatched. And then also I didn't pay attention and I went to the smaller needle for the ribbing here. It doesn't look bad on my thigh. It's a little snugger than I thought, so I might just overblock the ribbing on the bottom, which I think will be fine. I'm not going backward. So this is a little egg progress marker, a little Easter egg. I have no idea where I got it from. And then this is an Alice in Wonderland progress keeper. It's my favorite one. It says Drink Me, and this is from my friend Victoria. And the yarn, this really like ballerina pink yarn, is the colorway Azalea by Yarn Cafe Creations. My last WIP is in this bag here that I inherited from my dear friend Salila, who passed away a few months ago. And I've been using it a lot for my smaller projects. And so I have a new pair of socks. So I've got one complete cuff here and almost a complete cuff here. And look at the way the yarn plays. Hold on, let me move it a little closer. Isn't that fun? That pooling, I'm really liking it. It's got like teals and kind of a gray blue, and then it's got like some light gray, really pretty. This is what it looks like caked up. How fun is that? This is Yarnable Wings of Renewal. I think it was their March Yarnable bag or March Yarnable box. Okay, I do have Maas Yarnable. It's May 8th. I'll show it just because I'm gonna forget to show it in my next podcast. So if you have not gotten Maas Yarnable or opened it yet, fast forward like 2 minutes and then you won't see it. First, yarn is really bright. Look at that. This is Squeeze the Day. I've got it on their plush sock, 8515 superwash merino nylon. Super fun colorway. And then it comes with this nice bag that has all the extras in it. My favorite extra in this bag is these Citrus Delights lemon candies. And this tastes like a really like perfectly made homemade lemon, perfectly made homemade lemonade. It is the right amount of tartness. It is perfect, and me and my 2 boys cannot stop eating them. They're really good. And then it came with this Petty in a box, and it has a sea salt soak, a sugar scrub, and a massage butter. So maybe I'll do that this weekend. I also have a face mask and some eye mask, and it's Mother's Day on Sunday, so maybe I'll do a little pampering. And then it comes with these lemon air fresheners. And then the cool thing about these bags is they're really heavy duty, and I use them for notion pouches. I have way too many, but they're great to use, and they fit needles in it as well. Okay, let's see here. It's been a while since I've talked about books. So books that I'm reading. I have finished the 2nd book in the Crescent City series, and I have started the 3rd book, which is, I don't remember. I'll put it down below. I haven't read it in a couple weeks. It's kind of on hold. I have the hardcover, and it's like, no joke, this tall. So it's really awkward to read at night in bed, and I don't really have a lot of time to read at home, and it's kind of awkward to put it in my work bag and like hold it down while you're eating your lunch. So it's not getting a lot of love. I might buy the Kindle version so that when I have time to sit at home, I can read the hardcover, and then at bedtime or on my lunch break, I can read the Kindle. It's kind of a pain to do that because obviously they don't sync, but it'll help me read faster. I have also finished Vera Wong's Unsolicited Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. It was really funny. Very easy read. Took me a little bit longer than I expected. I just didn't make it a priority. I have also finished, bummer, what is it called? Want to Know a Secret by Freda McFadden. That was a really good book. Completely surprised me, and I was like, oh, okay, like, so this is what we're doing. Like, that's not at all what you were setting up. And then the end came out of nowhere. Like, it totally took me by surprise. I really thought I knew the ending, and I never would have guessed it. So that was really good. And I just started Red Rising. This is a book about a boy who is like drilling in Mars to try to make it inhabitable for humans, only to find out that there actually is parts of Mars that people are actually living in, and he is in like a dystopian society, and he's basically a slave who's been lied to. and it seems like there's going to be some sort of rebellion. So I just started that. Me and my sister are going to read it together. She started it before me, so that's pretty good. I also finished Sunrise on the Reaping, which is a Hunger Games book. I don't know if I talked about that the last podcast. I don't know exactly when I finished it. Hold on. But it was really good. So the Hunger Games series is like a futuristic story where the United States split into 13 districts, and every year each district has to have one boy and one girl tribute go, and they basically fight to their death. And then the winning victor gets bragging rights and actually gets food for their family. So it's a series that's been around for a really long time. It's also been made into movies. A few years ago, she made a Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is, I think, on the 10th year that they do what they call the Hunger Games, which is the competition or the game where they battle to death. I think it's the 10th year, and it introduces you to a key character whose name is President Snow. That was not good. I hate to say it. If you liked it, that's fine. It was just not good. It wasn't written well. It wasn't easy to read. I didn't enjoy it at all. I didn't like the ending. There didn't seem to have any symbolism or layers to the story. I really didn't enjoy it. So I was a little nervous about this one, and I had high hopes because it's Haymitch's story. Haymitch is one of there's not many victors in District 12. They're very impoverished. And he is one of the few victors that they've ever had. And he is the mentor for the two main characters, Katniss and Peeta. And so this is his story of when he went into the Hunger Games. And I tell you, she did not disappoint. It was written in the same manner as the regular Hunger Games trilogy. It was fast-paced. It was exciting. You didn't know what was going to happen. There was rebellion. There was retaliation. But there was layers. My sister and I read it together, and we were able to have a conversation that started like with the surface level of the book and like the layers and the symbolism of the book and the character growth. And we were able to talk to it all the way through about self-reflection. I tell you, that book is like chef's kiss. Very, very good. Highly recommend. Do not give up if you read Songbirds and Snakes. Like, give this one a chance. Let's see. I think that's it for books, which is, I guess, kind of a bit, but I am summarizing last month as well. Oh, excuse me. So that brings me to life stuff. So I'm still going to school. I am going to Southern New Hampshire University for my bachelor's degree in nursing. And it's been a lot. So it takes a lot of my time. Luckily, this class that I just took was like a main requirement non-nursing class, and it was a lot easier. So I got a lot of knitting time. This class I'm a week into, and it's back to the first class. It's a lot of time, and my knitting will probably take a nosedive, but I will do my best to come on and show you content. And let's see, Wyatt, he is almost 17. He just became a manager at work. He works at McDonald's, so I'm very proud of him. He's working like a dog, so I'm a little worried about him burning the candle at both ends, but he's too young to understand like that that's a real thing and thinks I'm just, being a ridiculous mom. So proud of that. Also trying to like curve the whole you don't need to work all the time thing. And Michael's doing well. He's my oldest son, and he is apprenticing to be a roofer. Not much has changed in his life. He works a lot, and he came over for dinner the other night, so that was really nice. My oldest daughter is doing well. We don't talk a whole lot, but she seems to be doing well, so that's exciting. And then my youngest, Weston, is starting to come a little more out of his shell. He did football at the beginning of this year, which was completely unlike him because he's a very shy guy who isn't super socially oriented, but he really enjoyed it. And then he is thinking about doing soccer next year, which is pretty cool. And he's been playing with his friends like in person. Like he's been having play dates, which is a normal part of childhood, but has not been a normal part of his childhood. It's not been something that he's been driven towards. It's not something he enjoys. It's not something that really engages or like fills his cup. So that's kind of cool. That's exciting. And I think that's about it. I've decided not to garden this year. I don't think I'll have any time to garden, and it'd be a lot of work to start it and put all my effort into it and then just give up. It's just not worth it this year. Yeah, so that brings me to my favorite part of the segment, which is a spice of mental health. I'm a big advocate for mental health and self-care, and really just being mindful and taking care of yourself at the same time as ending the stigma for people who suffer from mental health conditions. I guess suffering is not the right word. People who work with mental health conditions. And so I am bipolar. And when I first became bipolar, I was really afraid to say that. It has a very negative connotation, a lot of stigma in society, and it took me a while to realize that I didn't need to care what they think, and that if more people talk about it, the more the community will realize that it's not a rare few of us. Like a lot of us are out there in the public and we're hiding, and by talking about it, we're also encouraging others to talk about it and to have a level of acceptance. So all that to say, I like to do a little spice of mental health at the end, kind of give you a little bit of homework or sometimes a quote. And so today I want to encourage you to play with Play-Doh. So I was really stressed out a couple weeks ago and started playing with Play-Doh, and I just felt so much better. And I know that it's a part of like stress relief because you're slowing down and you're focusing and moving with your hands with intention. But I did look it up today before I sat down to podcast, and there has been studies about the mental health benefits. And so one of them is, like I said, it forces you to slow down, be grounded, which means focusing on your physical environment and the things you can see and feel and smell. And that Play-Doh usually reminds people of like happy childhood memories. And so you're really putting yourself in the moment, which is also helping with mindfulness. It also releases endorphins while you're playing with it, which increase your mood, and it can help with emotional regulation. So I highly recommend, if you have kiddos, stealing their Play-Doh or playing with them with their Play-Doh. And if you don't, going to the store. And I recommend going to like a dollar store and getting like a knockoff brand, even if it's a tiny one, because everything in today's economy has gone up, and I would not be surprised if Play-Doh was around like $5, which in my opinion, if you have young children and that's the only way to get them to play with Play-Doh, it's worth it. But if your children are older, $5 for a can of Play-Doh is really not worth it. So if you have a Dollar Tree or a dollar store, look there first. Like let's not be throwing money if we don't need to. Grab some Play-Doh, play with some Play-Doh, calm down, get grounded, and boost your mood. With that, I hope you have happy crafting and a chance to fill your cup. Bye!